Hey everyone, my name is Mrs. Pelosi and I teach advanced placement psychology. In this class, we learn all about the brain and the body and the environment around you. So what we really start to learn about and understand is how you as an individual, how your brain and body interact with your environment and how your inner environment can interact with you and change the way that you think or feel or behave. I hope that you are so excited to take this class, and I can't wait to meet you.
Hello, East. I am Mr. Adams, and I teach AP US Government and Politics. As I sat on my couch watching the events that unfolded on January 6th during the counting of the electoral votes, I couldn't help but think about how important it is for students, all students, to receive an education in how our government works, how our government operates, and what role you all play and we all play in our government and in our society. And if you take AP US government, you will learn about where you fit in to the government and how you can participate. Because what we don't want to have happen is to see another protest like we did after the election, such as this protest. And we definitely do not want to see another horned guy like this storming our Capitol in an attempted insurrection. So if you take AP US government, you will learn about the founding fathers and what they believe the government should look like and how they set it up. And how they balance the relationship between the states and the federal government and how they distributed powers between the two. You will learn how the different political parties, the Democrats and the Republican parties, get along or don't get along and why they don't get along as much. You will learn about how the roles of the president and in the White House. You will learn about the House of Representatives and its function and its role in the US government. You will learn about the US Senate and what makes it unique and sometimes broken. You will learn about the Oval Office and all the different people that work in the Oval Office that advise the President of the United States. You will also learn how this guy becomes a bill on Capitol Hill and his journey that it takes to go to become a law. You will also learn, and probably the most important thing that you will learn, is how you actually participate in our democracy. How is it that you vote? What are the barriers that you have to overcome to vote? And what are the influences that have been put upon you in your lifetime to make you think about politics and how government should work today? So if you take AP US government and politics, you will learn all these things and more. And I think this might be one of the most important and one of the most useful classes you could ever take as a high school student because it will prepare you very well for your future.
Hello, Pergolders. My name is Mr. Gibson. I teach history at East High School. And here we're to cultivate an interest in my course, AP European History. I teach a variety of history classes at East, World History, Modern Latin America, a class on called U.S. and Contemporary Affairs, and AP European History, which is a year-long course. It's a survey course of modern European history from about the mid-1400s to the present. And it basically tells the story of white folks running amok. Um, so, and we know white folks know how to run amok. Uh, so yeah, it's a class that focuses. It's kind of Europe in the mid 1400s was a sleepy backwater. Nobody really paid much attention to it. There were other parts of the world that were much more advanced, like China and the Islamic world at the time. But in the history that we'll be looking at in this class, it'll show how Europe goes from the sleepy, stinking backwater to the commanding heights of global power, imperialism, control over much of the southern hemisphere, like Africa and much of Asia. So yeah, white folks running amok, to be sure, and then culminating in the global wars of the 20th century. So it's a pretty crazy story. I'll show you some artifacts. If you take the class, I got a picture. I have a piece of Hitler's house here. Another artifact I brought back from Europe was a green card marriage wife from Romania to help her escape from a communist dictatorship. And this was in the late 1980s. So I've been to Europe a number of times. I've always been interested in it. I've been teaching the class for a long time. And it would be great to have you guys, have you folks join the class as well. The class, I think, is both valuable in learning history, but also in developing one's analytical writing skills, which is a challenge, but it's really good for developing confidence in writing, getting ready for college, really getting ready for anything in the professional world or really anything. If you know how to write and you know how to write coherently, it's great for you. So the kind of skills that you will learn in this class will be good for all kinds of things. The material that you will learn, I think, is really fascinating. It's very, very dynamic history. And you'll have me to teach you and to support you throughout the whole thing. So come one, come all. Everybody's invited to the party. And I'm here to support each and every one of you. So yeah, please take the class. Please consider it. The story of white folks running amok. All right. Thanks for listening, and you guys take care of yourselves.
Hi, I'm Mr. Attaway from the Social Studies Department, and I'm here to introduce you to AP Economics. The course in AP Economics for the 2021-22 school year will be AP Microeconomics. AP Macroeconomics will be offered in 2022-23 school year. So what's offered in AP Microeconomics? What do we focus on? That's a good question. What we focus on is the distribution of resources in an economy and the interactions between producers and consumers in microeconomics. And not to scare you off or anything, but just to give you a heads up, is that in economics, it is the most math-based course in the social studies department. We do a little calculations, do some graphing and modeling. And for example, if you look at the screen here, this would be an example of a model that we could create. For example, in terms of economic video watching, if we measured in terms of watching the video on the y-axis, interest in watching it, versus the time spent on it, you'll see that as we start watching the video, interest peaks pretty quickly, but it starts to decline to the point where it might actually get a little negative. Well, and right toward the end, it starts to peak again because, well, it's the end. But really, a real graph will look like is, for example, if we choose to discuss the interactions in a marketplace. For example, N95 masks over the last year. We put price on one axis and the quantity on the other. We can see that as the supply of the good by producers remains pretty constant, and we have demand for the good in January 2020 versus the demand in March 2020. You see that actually increased. And this intersection between demand and supply will lead us to what is known as an equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, that we can predict what would happen as the demand increased dramatically. What we're going to see is as more masks gets produced, the prices of them also increase. And that's an example of what we do when we show modeling in AP Econ. So if you have any questions, hopefully you take the class. I encourage you to register for the class. It'll make you give a better understanding what the economy is like and how it works in our society. It'll make you a better educated person as well. But who knows? Maybe it'll lead to a good job for like one of my former students here. So if you have any questions, my contact information is here. When we're back in the building, I'm in room 2002. And my room phone number is that. You can also contact me right now, my Google Voice number, or text me. This number right here. And you can also email me at the email address. And I'm also on Twitter. That's my title and that's my handle. So look forward to hearing from you. I encourage you to register for the class and have a good time going through registration.